died during the bombings last year. We've been forced to slave away at our factory jobs, working day and night just to keep our home. So much scorn for people we thought were our friends. So much shame. It hasn't been easy for us or our brothers. But this is horrible. You heard the news?
News? What news could be worse than the death of our parents, and now the death of our brothers, one against the other, fighting for the promotion at the factory? The sight is engraved in my memory forever.
I knew you hadn't heard. She's trying to keep it a secret. Ha! She could keep such a tragedy under wraps as if I wouldn't protest.
Oh, Abigail, are you just going to tell me or not? If it's such a big secret, then just keep it to yourself.
Well, as if the deaths of our two brothers weren't bad enough, now the factory boss has issued an order that no one is to talk about what's happened.
But she can't do that.
Yes, she can. They managed to recover the bodies of our brothers, and since the police saw Paul, they're claiming he died in an accident. But our poor brother Edward's body is destined to languish in the depths of the factory, in places unknown, never receiving the proper burial it deserves, and simply because our boss is too cowardly to admit the brothers were fighting in the first place. Anyone who dares to challenge the claim that Paul died in an accident and Edward has simply been fired is dismissed themselves, and probably threatened to be silenced to boot.
But couldn't she simply claim that they both died in an accident?
Well, if she had, then the police would have examined both bodies and seen very clearly that both were scarred by weapons other than machinery. Eventually, the double murder would come to light, and then the factory's good reputation would be marred by disgrace and suspicion.
Well, fine. Even if she doesn't, then what can we do about it? I mean, we're just factory workers. Besides, we need our jobs, or else how will we survive?
Well, I intend to expose the tragedy to anyone I can. It's the only way our poor brothers can receive a proper recognition for their deaths.
How?
Well, I intend to find our brother's body, the one they've hidden, and bring it to the authorities.
Abigail, this is madness. How do you think we could ever find our brother's body in this horrible warren of a workplace? We may not even be at the factory anymore. Do you want to die like our brothers did? What's more, do you want their horrible crimes against each other to become public? Weren't the deaths of our parents and our failed from society enough humiliation for you?
I would much rather be willing to let my brother's crimes against each other come to light than to know that this factory is hiding the true cause of their deaths in order to save their reputation. I wish I could say as much for your character. You, Isabel, are a coward. Even if you wanted to help me now, I wouldn't let you.
I think that hiding the fact is fine. I'd like to keep my job, unlike you.
Such a flimsy excuse. You know I care about our jobs, but I care about our family more.
Abigail, I'm afraid for you.
Fear for someone who cares, Isabel.
Well, fine. If you must try and complete this impossible task, then just make sure you keep it a secret, okay? The spies are everywhere.
Your advice falls on deaf ears. Why should I listen to you anymore?
Even if you win, you lose. Can't you even see that?
Maybe so, but at least I have the courage to try in the first place.
Well, if you know you're going to fail, then why even try?
You're being such a pessimist. I'm ashamed to call you my sister. You're no better than our boss.
Fine then, have it your way, but don't be surprised if your plan ends up in tragedy.
I have changed. I have changed. Just like you. Just like you. For how long? For how long must we wait? I know there's something wrong. The concrete heart is beating. We try to make it come alive. The shadows, the red lights. Now we wait for rescue. Two men. Two men. We only reported one. Strange. Only favoring one. But it's just for business. Business is business. The world we go round and round, round and round, round and round. The world we go round and round, 'cause all we want is money. And now, what do we wait for? One year. We wait for salvation. But what am I saying? What am I saying? We are gonna get salvation. Now for a dictator of a woman, nonetheless a leader. But again.
Throughout the whole time this factory has been in business, all of you have been loyal, even before I became boss. You have always followed all orders, You have always tried to make this factory look good, never letting the reputation of this factory go down. And now we have this situation upon our hands. Edward and Paul killing each other? How ridiculous is that? Of course, only one death may be reported to hide this crime and in order to save the reputation of this factory. But fighting over promotion? That's just stupid. I can't let this happen. And if someone were to see this happen, someone were to find the body and steal it away, someone has to report to me. They can't keep silent. That's just selfish. I mean, the reputation of our factory is so important, and we have to keep this body hidden until all this ends.
Yes. I understand, madam.
Then do as I say.
But
And don't worry, because I've asked people to help guard Edward's body.
I don't have to do anything.
Well, you just have to not scheme against this factory and not be disobedient.
Well, no one wants to know that.
Death would be the consequence, but you'd be surprised because the greed of some men have led them to their own deaths.
Madame, I have something urgent to tell you. I don't want to beat around the bush or anything, so I won't waste any time.
What do you have to tell me, lowly servant?
Let me say something first. This isn't my fault. I didn't do it. Nothing. I didn't see it happen. I just have to deliver the news. That's all.
You know you're really good at dilly-dallying, but just stop it down and tell me.
This messenger of great news is afraid.
Then just hurry up and tell me, for heaven's sake. For God's sake, just get over it.
Okay, here goes. Someone has taken the body, and no one can find it.
What are you saying? Who dares do such a thing?
I really don't know. I swear. There's no trace of the criminal. No clues to follow. No cigarette butts. No stray hairs. Nothing at all. When we discovered the body missing, we were completely shocked. Someone has taken the body. It's gone. But we're innocent. None of us did it or saw anyone do it. We had to draw straws to decide who was to tell you. And lucky me. I drew the shortest one, and we can't hide the fact that the deed is done already.
Stop. All your talking is making me rather annoyed. Isn't it foolish to think that someone would actually care enough about Edward's body to take it away? No, I don't think so. And whoever committed this crime, I will fire them. Okay? I don't care who did it, I'll fire them just the same. Because this factory means way too much to me, and I'm not going to let two brothers get in the way of this.
May I say something, or do I have to go back now?
Can you go away? Can't you see you're bothering me?
How do you suffer, madame?
Why do you want to know? Just leave.
I know the crime is bothering you.
Stop babbling. Just leave. The door's right there.
Okay. But remember, I'm innocent.
Oh, you'd say anything to prove your innocence.
I'm afraid you're mistaken about my character. Perhaps you should rethink your judgments.
Go argue with yourself about the strengths of your character. That is of no importance to me. If you don't find who committed this crime, you will be the one to suffer.
Oh gosh, you better go find the body then. But even if we do find it, I'm never coming back. I'm glad to get out of this alive.
All right, so take a minute. Less than a minute. And again, look at your kind of questions and do your ranking.
I'm so hungry. What do I do for class? Oh my god, yeah, your face. I can't breathe. Yeah, it's been really good. I had it. It was like
People wear the pins to know. I'm the only one who actually doesn't mind my outfit.